In the previous video, we have seen what is chemistry, definition of chemistry, then what is mean by matter, examples of matter. Now in this video, we will study our next point, and that will be pure substances. Pure substances, for example, distilled water. Distilled water is the best example of pure substances. Then any pure metal is the example of pure substances, such as pure metal means silver, gold, copper, iron. We can say that these are pure metal called as pure substances. Now pure substances are those which have a definite chemical composition, means its chemical composition is fixed. Definite means fixed. Pure substances have definite or fixed chemical composition. Now pure substances are of two types. Number one, compounds, and second one is a element. Compound, for example, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, water H2O, sodium hydroxide, NaOSO. These are some examples of compounds. Then elements such as sodium, potassium, calcium, magnesium, silver, gold, iron, carbon, nitrogen, oxygen. So we have number of examples of elements. Now elements further classify as three types. Number one, metals, non-metals, and metalloid. Metals, for example, sodium, potassium, calcium, silver, gold, iron, copper. These are some examples of metals. Then non-metal such as carbon, nitrogen, oxygen, fluorine. These are non-metals. And last one is a metalloid. Metalloid means intermediate between metal and non-metal. Metalloids, for example, boron is an example of metalloid. Then we can say that arsenic, germanium, silicon. So these are metalloid. Now what is the difference between metals and non-metals? We can say that metals have shiny appearance, means, or metals are good conductor of heat and electricity, or metals are malleable and ductile. Malleable means metals can be hammered into thin sheets. For example, aluminium is most malleable, or gold is malleable. Aluminium is used to make aluminium foil. Then metals are ductile. Ductile means that substances which can be converted into wires, or which can be drawn into wires. For example, our home wiring such as copper, aluminium, then silver, gold. Silver, gold are most ductile substances. So metals are malleable, ductile, shiny appearance. They are good conductor of heat and electricity. Then non-metals have no shiny appearance, and they are non-conductor or poor conductor of heat and electricity. Now what is the reason behind it? What could be the reason? Why does metals good conductor of heat and electricity while non-metals do not conduct electricity? What make metals good conductor of heat and electricity? The presence of what? The presence of free electrons. We know that electrical conductivity means flow of free electrons in one direction. So what make metals good conductor of heat and electricity? Free electron. Metal contain free electrons. Why it contain free electrons? Because metals are electropositive. Their valence electron, the valence electron of metals are loosely held by the nucleus. That is why metals contain free electrons, and because of the presence of free electrons, metals are good conductor of heat and electricity. But the free electrons are not observed in case of non-metals. Non-metal do not contain free electron except graphite. So that is why, because of the absence of free electrons or less number of free electrons, non-metals are poor conductor or non-conductor of heat and electricity. So this is how we consider the difference between metals and non-metals. Now we will see the difference between compounds and element. How will you differentiate between compounds and elements? So here we have the examples of compound. Two examples I have given up. One is water H2O, and second one is a carbon dioxide. And the elements such as copper, silver, and iron. Now we will see how I differentiate between compounds and elements. So here two compounds, water and CO2. Can we break water into simpler substances? Can we break carbon dioxide into simpler substances? Yes, we can break it. We can break H2O into simpler substances. Which one? Hydrogen and oxygen. So here I will show you water can be broken down into two simpler substances. One is hydrogen and other is oxygen. So water can be breakable, compounds can be breakable into another simpler substances. Can we break carbon dioxide? Carbon dioxide can be broken down into carbon and oxygen. So we can break CO2 also. Carbon dioxide can be broken down into two simpler substances. One is carbon and second one is oxygen. So both the compounds can be breakable. So that is the definition of compounds. Compounds are the pure substances which can be broken down into simpler substances. So water can be broken down into hydrogen gas and oxygen gas, and CO2 can be broken down into carbon and oxygen. So we can say that compounds are breakable. Compound can be broken down into another simpler substances. But elements do not show this breakable property. Can we break copper? Can we break silver? Can we break iron? Can we break sodium? Can we break potassium? Which is not possible. So they are non-breakable. These substances cannot be broken down into simpler substances as like compounds. So these are breakable one, these are non-breakable ones. So that is the difference between compounds and elements. Compounds are the pure substances which can be broken down into simpler substances, while elements are the pure substances which cannot be broken down into simpler substances. So that is how we consider the difference between compounds and elements. So in this